dun, dun. All right. All right. So anyway, Jerry was on a presentation, and he did a role play session using a lot of what we learn and teach here in the group. And he did an amazing job. Not only do I think he did an amazing job, but they have some moderators on there that also gave him a lot of really good feedback. There's one aspect of that I wanted to speak on in today's training that plays into some stuff I talked about last week. But I wanted to ask Jerry himself, on the call, Jerry, you talked about some challenges that you had been facing in, speaking with other people, and I thought they were really appropriate for the occasion. But in terms of the actual role play session and putting yourself out there, how did that feel? And where's your confidence level at right now?
Through the roof.
My man.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I was going through Facebook, and I ran across that group, and I was already interested in social media marketing. So as I started to read, and they was looking for someone to do the cold call session, and I said, why not? Okay.
Why not?
Yeah. And so I raised my hand, and so, hey,
Yeah.
we went on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I listened to it. I actually listened to it this morning, man. You did a fantastic job. They critiqued you. Well, when I say critique, they analyzed the call, and I can look on their faces, and they're like, "Oh, damn, we did not expect him to be this tight."
No, I don't think they did.
They did not. I'm looking at their faces, and they're like, "Wait a minute, how are we going to do coaching behind this?" So they had to try to, pick out a few things. But in terms of some of the challenges you said that you were facing when you did your calling, one of the things that you mentioned is that, one of the critiques that they did was that you made the offer right away on the phone. And I know part of our teaching is, we get on the phone to make money today. So we tend to want to make offers immediately. Now, the different dynamic that was present there, and as part of the methodology that they're teaching, is simply that you don't have to necessarily do that if, in fact, it is attraction marketing, in this case, social media marketing.
Right.
Right. And I thought that was key. And this is the point I wanted to make, because a lot of us right now are facing that particular challenge where you're calling these people, and we have to move quickly with an expectation that somebody's going to call them in short order and step on our toes as far as the deal is concerned. So, if I could probably promote anything on this call, is for all of us to move a little bit faster towards creating some sort of attraction marketing scenario for ourselves. Be it a social media presence, mailing, whatever. But where a person calls you, it changes the entire dynamic of how you can conversate with them. And just as importantly, the pressure you feel and the potential for you to get ghosted after the fact.
Right.
Right. So all that's eliminated. I don't know if you want to, speak on that a little bit, Jerry, because obviously that was on your mind, and that's what kind of sent you on a search for, something in that arena. You want to say a couple of things about that?
Well, one of the problems was that, so I do a lot of calls, talk to people, okay, think I have closed the deal, say, hey, I'm going to send the contract over. The next day, they're sort of ghosting me. Like the last one, 2 weeks ago, I had a deal in Kentucky, talked to the gentleman. Everything was good. Okay. He was fine with the number. sent the contract to him. Next day, don't answer the phone. So then I sent him a brochure explaining more about the lease option. That night he told me, he says, Jerry, we will talk tomorrow. I said,
Okay.
oh, and I'm like, oh, great, you know. So next day came, I called him up and he was like, well, Jerry, I got two people looking at the house. Okay. So I know right there, and he was lying, but
Yeah.
I couldn't call him on it. So I just said, okay, you know, pretty much I'll do a follow up. If it doesn't sell, you know, maybe we can move forward. Okay. But then after I got off the phone, I started to analyze myself to say, what could I have did better
Uh-huh.
on that call? Okay. And I looked at, maybe I should have explained that a little bit, went into little more detail
Yeah.
rather than going into more detail. And maybe I was a little too pushy. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was something I felt that made him feel uncomfortable. So I had to analyze myself and go back and say, on my next deal, how am I going to do this different? Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure at the end of our conversation, okay, that the seller understand exactly the numbers. He's comfortable with the numbers and the terms, and he knows exactly what's going on, okay? And that I have answered all of his questions so that I don't run into this problem again, okay?
What is something you think you can do, like a closing line or something that might, you know, and there's no way we can 100% guarantee that somebody's not going to ghost us, because we just don't have that much control. The only thing that we can do is do our absolute best presentation and include all of the elements of closing that we learn and that we teach. You know, which
And
is, you know,
one of the things that too is like, a lot of times when we call people and a lot of the people want to cash out, and when you start to talk to them about owner finance, a lease option, they've had so many people before you call, okay? And now some of them are upset, you know, they don't want to do it, okay? And then I catch myself still trying to work through it, okay? But I think it's a lot of people, that a lot of gurus are teaching the people lease options, owner financing. And when they, you know, transform to give this information to the homeowner, okay, I don't think they do a very good job of explaining it to the homeowners,
right.
okay?
Yes.
And that creates a problem, okay? And then a lot of times I think that some of the homeowners are getting lowballed too, because I've had people when I got on the phone and they're like, I'm not, you know, I'm not doing all the finance, and if you're going to lowball me and just blowing up on me. And then hey, sir, I'm a serious buyer. Okay. Did I say something wrong? And then
Right.
pretty soon I got, well, I'm sorry, but I've just been getting a lot of calls. Okay. People wanting to do owner finance, a lease option. This house, you know, is not for lease option.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
quite sure other people here getting the same thing.
Well,
If
Yes.
you're on the phone making calls, you know.
yeah, yeah. If you're making calls, you're experiencing that. I'm gonna let everybody, you know, kind of put their input on that particular thing. Before I do, I kind of want to frame it a little bit. So, what Jerry is describing, and like he said, if you guys are on the phone, you've experienced this. Now, we can look at it like, okay, it's something we can't overcome. It's, you know, it's a problem that is, you know, unrepairable. Here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to stop making calls because you're getting that challenges. All we're doing is identifying the challenge. And the challenge is going to occur because that's the marketplace into which we're operating. So
Yeah.
our goal is basically to try to see what if we can come up with techniques, methods, conversations that allow us to overcome that. But
Well, I had reached out. I had reached out to John Jackson, which he's going to be on this weekend.
Saturday.
Yeah, he never returned my call, but I reached out to him several times.
Mm-hmm.
And because he sort of teaches that he does a mailer, he doesn't do the cold calling, he does a mailer and the people call him. I guess he sent out, it's through direct mail, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm, you know, so I wanted to reach out to him, and then I was going to possibly uh, go through the training with him and buy his course or whatever, just to see. Okay, you know, it would be worth it to me if there was just a couple nuggets in there. Okay, but he never called me back, so
Okay.
you know.
I hear you. I hear you, Jerry. That's, you know, I know how you are. You know, you're constantly looking to grow and get better, and I acknowledge you for that. And what we're speaking about, to boil it all down, guys, is attraction marketing. That's really the bottom line. The mailers, what are those? Those are attraction marketing. Like Jerry said, people call him back. He's talking about John Jackson. If you guys don't know who he is, just look him up. But people call him back. Well, calling him back is the definition of attraction marketing. So whatever you need to do, we all need to do in order to be able to put value into the marketplace that identifies who we are, what our capabilities are, and allow those people to get back to us. That's a win, because it changes the entire dynamic of the conversation. Because up to this point, we've done a lot of, you know, going out there and you know, one of my mentors is Claude Diamond, who, you know, teaches what is called the gut sales method. And oftentimes when you talk about the gut sales method, you get the impression that it's, you know, it's gutsy. You know, you're out there and you're hard selling people, and you're you know, you're hammering and you're closing right now. Well, he'll even tell you that, okay, two things he'll tell you. One is he doesn't close 100% of the deals, even though that's the impression we would often get, right? Nobody closes 100%. So don't hold yourself to that standard. That is a mythical standard that will put you in the crazy house, or have you go sit down someplace because you're so defeated by that thought that, you know, there's somebody out there closing 100%. Know that there's nobody closing 100% unless it was attracted to them and they were so pre-qualified that now all you have to do is put the numbers together for them. So in what, you know, Jerry's talking about is some of the things that you've heard me say. And, you know, I'm in process, and within the next couple of weeks, I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I put in place to, you know, create the attraction marketing scenarios that we're talking about, because it does change the dynamic of your phone calls considerably and takes the pressure off of you, because now they're calling because you have something that they want. Imagine that, as opposed to you calling them and you're the 25th caller that's called them, you know, in the last couple of days, and everybody's offering the exact same thing, probably in the exact same way, right? So I just kind of wanted, you know, to put that out there. Jerry's is right on track with, you know, where he's going, how he's thinking. I just kind of want to, you know, pinpoint what exactly that methodology is, and it's two words: attraction marketing, where you're creating something of value and bringing it back to you.
Yeah. Hi.
Is that you, Addie?
Victor? Yeah, that's me. Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, can you just give me an example of what will be like an attraction marketing? What will I offer them that will be more, you know, much better than what somebody else has?
Well,
'Cause Jerry
sometimes it's just simple information. Like you could put together, like, you know, if you go on YouTube on any, you know, I go on YouTube first thing in the morning. I don't know if that's a good habit, but it's what I do.
works.
I go and I kind of get some blurbs about what's going on in the world or whatever. You know, I look at a couple of news feeds and I look at all my real estate stuff. Well, in any of that stuff, there's something that you could speak about that kind of relates back to real estate or whatever, right? So, for instance, you do a quick 5-minute video or something where, you know, you're basically regurgitating information. And I want to make that point because a lot of times when we think about this, we think about being creative and being the thought leader and being the original creator of content. We don't have to be that. All you have to do is just, you can even give an opinion on something that's already going on. And you're just sort of, putting yourself out there, allowing people to see that, okay, this person is plugged in and, they seem to know what they're talking about. So what happens is over time, like everything else, you get better. As you get better, those people that have seen you now start to give you a certain level of credibility, right? One, because you keep showing up, and two, because you keep improving the whole time. Now you sound, they'll connect with you. There's enough people out there that, there's some people out there who will see me and be like, oh yeah, I want to get with that guy. I can relate to what he's saying. There's other people that like, I can't stand that dude. But they love them some Jerry, or they love them some Addie, or they love them some Rosalind, So there's enough people out there to where we can connect with them, on the front end. And then they will get back to us. And now we're building like that, right? So that's all attraction marketing is. You find an article and you put it out there, say, look, I just read this article and I thought it was really important. So I want to put it out there. You guys can link to it or whatever.
And if you keep putting it out there enough, the people will connect and they'll feel like they know you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It creates relationship.
It's just like you're sitting home watching a movie. You're watching it week after week, okay? And you have your favorite characters.
Exactly.
To respond what Vic saying, he's saying it more clear, and I'm just going to specify it for being in the business so many years. Basically, it's all a numbers game. Everything ain't for everybody. So just remember, if that number doesn't work, go to the next number. Don't get caught up like I used to when I first got into business for the first 5 years, caught up on emotional. Don't get emotional in this business. It's a hardcore business. You looking for that number, though, you're looking for that yes, and just keep moving. Vic said it very clearly. It's not everything is not for everybody. That's it. Just remember that. And remember, it's a numbers game. If that deal ain't working, it's not everybody's strategy is not for everything. You just got to know your market and how people are in, and just learn your market and learn how the investors in your area or whatever you're working is what strategy they're using. They're getting the closing. Not all this paying stuff and who's doing what and stuff, because Victor's, he's definitely saying all the right things. So don't get caught up. That's what I'm telling you. Please don't.
I appreciate that, Rosalind. Thank you for for sharing that with us. So that's basically it, right? You always wonder, okay, how can I get more leads? And if we shift our mindset just a little bit, is how can I connect with more people? Well, we live in 2021. It is like there has never been an opportunity to connect with more people than we have right now. Now you just have to be, and this is the hard part, folks, and I know it is, you have to be willing to put yourself out there. And we know that when we put ourselves out there, we're at risk. Because the internet world, the attraction marketing world can be a little bit mean and a little bit nasty and a little bit, so I think about it like this. In that environment, I can simply just click away from those people. Like I don't even have to deal with them. I can delete their responses. I can do whatever. I don't ever have to meet them. I don't ever have to talk to them or anything like that. So I can filter everybody before I even make a phone call, right? As opposed to sending out 1,000 text messages, getting responses, having no idea who that person is on the other end or how many people they've talked to. And so they reject you, but they reject you on a personal level, right? Because there's nothing worse than having someone on the phone and they reject you. And I just kind of wanted to paint that picture, right? Like attraction marketing eliminates a lot of the stuff that keeps us from getting to the next level in our businesses. And just because someone is calling us and they want what we have, and to create that environment, put some stuff out there. You don't have to create it yourself. Talk about stuff you're interested in. And just let people know what you do. That's it. That's it. If you notice, some of you are with Claude, and Claude he does it all the time. He'll even take one video that he does, and this is something he's taught me. You know, in this video right here today, let's say for instance, I'll have a number of different exchanges with a number of you, right? I don't have to put out an hour-long video. I can put out a 3-minute video of a conversation that was of value in this. Imagine, you know, grabbing 5 or 6 videos. You can even take this video, you know, participate in this video yourself, right? You can even take just the part that you did, and now you have a video, right? It's that simple. It's you know, don't overthink it. You know, you guys are showing up and you're showing out, you're asking great questions, you're doing, you know, you can, like, for instance, you know, Addie, you said, you know, something you could do is, you know, I went on a training this week, and I asked a question because it has been bothering me, and I think it might be bothering some of you guys too. It might be something on your mind. I really wasn't understanding what attraction marketing was, but here's the answer that I got, and it made sense to me. Comment below if you have a different opinion, or if you know, right? So now you have a video, or you have an attraction marketing piece. Does that make sense, Addie?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, yeah. So before I go any further, let me kind of just go through here. I wanted to just say thank you to everybody for showing up again. Horace Cyrus is here. Jerry Smith, we've spoken to. Malicio is here again. Yi Ming is here. Addie, Aaron, Chris Moore, Crystal Tober. Is it Tober?
Yes, Victor. It's Tober, like October. Take off the OC. Tober.
I bet you've done that 1,000 times.
Right?
A
million. They love it.
They love it, right? You already have the answer in place, right? Yeah, it's like October without the OC.
Yep.
I love it. Thank you for that. Let me see. Jaime Cuevas is here. Carl, Larry, Mark Richardson, my man. Just so you guys know, Mark does live phone calls on Thursday, so he'll be on tomorrow doing some live phone calls. I would definitely recommend you guys plug into that. Let's see, who did I miss? Mary, great to see you, sweetie. How you been? You know, you were being searched for by some folks. You probably already know that, right?
I'm okay, thanks.
Good. I'm glad to hear. Everything good with you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good. Glad to hear it. Thanks for being here. Wei Lin, my man, is in the house. Suzette, thank you so much for showing up, Suzette. Thank you. Rosalind, let's see. Big Rick Gentry's in the house. Philip Montoya, Moises Blandon. I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I sincerely apologize, and I just want to say thanks again for you guys being here. Now, with that said, Moises has been pulling my coattail for about 4 weeks straight that he wants to do a role play. And for whatever reason, I always seem to end up ending it without Moises and I doing something together. So I promised him that besides also doing some live calls, which I owe to my student, Marvin. Sorry, Marvin, I'm on it. Moises wants to work on his agenda. So let's do a little bit of work. Moises, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
All right, cool. So Moises, you said you had some you wanted to do a little bit of work on the agenda as far as, you know, making sure that you're setting it up correctly.
Yeah, absolutely.
What role do you want to play? I'm the homeowner, you're the buyer?
That is correct.
Okay, all right. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, phone rings.
Hello.
Hi, Victor.
This is Victor, yeah.
Hi, Victor. How are you? This is Moises calling about the house on 123 Main Street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen your ad online, and I thought you know, it was kind of interesting that I would call you and ask you a few questions about the house.
Okay.
And you can also ask me some questions, and if it's not a good fit, you can always let me know.
Okay, sounds good. Now, I do want you to know, Moises, I get a lot of calls on this house, and I'm really not, I'm really not trying to give my house away.
Oh, what do you mean you get so many calls? What kind of calls?
People trying to get my house for free or almost free.
But how do you know this is the case now?
I don't know. I'm just letting you know.
Well, maybe that's the reason, we that I call you so I can ask you some questions, see if it's a good fit. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, how long have you had this property for? And what do you
Um,
want to sell now?
which question do you want me to answer?
Both, if you can.
Okay, so
Multitask.
I've had it for about 10 years, and I'm moving out of the area, and I really don't want to try to manage this property remotely.
I see. So you don't want to deal with maybe having two mortgages at the same time, do you?
I don't have a mortgage.
It's clear. So if you don't mind asking, when are you moving?
When I sell the house.
So as soon as possible, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I noticed you put a line. Your asking price was for 220. Are you any flexible on that price?
Well, make me an offer.
Well, first let me ask you: is that the lowest you'll go?
Well, like I said, make me an offer. Okay, so off the
Off
role
the
play.
role play.
So Moises, I'm making it
Yeah.
hard on you, right? I'm
Yeah.
a little, but
Yeah, you got me off track.
yeah.
Yeah,
It, it, so two
I
things.
went in the
Two
wrong
things.
direction. I started talking about, the kind of negotiating the price
Uh-huh.
instead of, kind of qualifying you before anything, right?
Okay, so what do you think was missing on the upfront?
Hmm. What do you think?
Well, if I was to say it was relationship, immediately when I gave you something you didn't want to hear, I felt like you became a little confrontational. Like you wanted, like you like you were in a battle now.
Yeah, I'm committed.
Yeah.
That's right.
Different than being, than listening and creating a bond. So
Yeah.
if I was to make any suggestion right now, and we only have, obviously, a small sample size, but you definitely want to listen to the person, kind of maybe mirror where they are, and
Mm-hmm.
start to create relationship. Always, that should be the first thing on your list,
You're
relationship.
right. So, you think there should be any kind of questions that I should ask to create that relationship or that bond?
The first question you should ask is, well, tell me about the house,
Mm-hmm. How
right?
old is the roof?
Um, well, hold on a second before you go there. So if you ask me to tell you about the house, you probably will get most of the answers. Do you understand how that question frames everything? Okay, it's
Yeah,
first of all, it's my
but
house, so I have a certain attachment to it, whether it be my personal home, and if it's a personal home, it's going to be even more attachment, right?
yeah,
If it's a rental, I'm still going to have some sort of attachment because we're kind of proud of our possessions, right? We kind of, it's my place. So if you start, the first thing you say to me is, tell me a little bit about your place. I'll start telling you stuff that probably would allow you to listen and answer some of the questions and eliminate the questions before you even have to ask them, right?
yep.
So let's kind of go back to that, like at the beginning. let's start at the beginning and let's come from creating a little bit of relationship.
Yeah, I was always thinking that if I should ask you, like, let's say I should ask them, how old is the roof? You know, from there I can, you know, kind of create
Okay, so
that relationship.
okay, so which one do you think is better? If I was to ask you, you know, how old is the roof, would that elicit more response from you than if I said to you, you know, tell me about your
Yeah,
house,
yeah, you're right. Okay.
right? Because now
Yeah,
you've given me a chance to brag about my stuff.
yeah,
Everybody likes to brag about their stuff, right?
yeah. That's right.
Right. So now I'm giving you a chance to go ahead and brag to me. Tell me all the wonderful things about your house, right?
Yep.
Because once you start telling me all the wonderful things, now you're in a space. You're in a space called my house is wonderful. I'm relaxed. I'm selling this guy. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if I'm as the seller in that space where I'm selling, where I'm now feeling like I'm selling you on the place, now you're actually in control. Right?
True.
Your control doesn't necessarily come from asking the question. Your control is allowing them to answer.
Can I make an observation?
Certainly.
Yes, go ahead.
Who's that? Is
Moises,
that Suzette?
yeah, this is
Okay,
me.
first of all, thank you for joining in. I've never
Thank you.
heard you speak before. So I
I love
really appreciate
I
that.
love
Yes.
to learn. I love to listen. But I would say to Moises,
Mhm.
your microphone sounds very clear. So every time you breathe and you swallow or you do something, the person can hear it. And that can also set the wrong message.
Mm.
You know, you're probably thinking and you're like, so they can hear that and that can also send the wrong message. You might be only thinking, but they see you and they hear that. I'm like, huh, he's not probably liking what I'm saying. So you got to be, I don't know if you have ever heard yourself once when you talk through the microphone. I mean, the microphone sounds perfect, sounds great.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
but in the same token, people can hear absolutely everything. So you're gonna
Mhm.
have to be more careful when
Thank
you
you
Mhm.
so
say
much.
things. Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank you so much for that point.
Oh,
Sure.
thank you so much for that, Suzette. You're absolutely right. And I
Sure.
hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, you send
No.
these little messages, you know, with your responses, even if it's a sigh or a, you know, like a certain sense of aggravation or whatever, and you have to control that in a sales environment because you want them only processing what you want them to process, nothing extra.
That would sound great when you have to struggle. When Claude says struggle, 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 that would sound great in that moment. But other than that, just
Yeah. Other than that, it's a problem. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
and
That's
and the
great
other,
input.
not to cut in, but the other thing is, a lot of y'all, like I'm here in the role play, you got to have some excitement with you. You got to get the, don't be so serious. Be excited, like you're trying to build a little rapport with them. Like if you're walking in someone's house, the first thing you ask them, say, "Oh, I just been walking. Can I have a glass of water?" You don't even have to drink the water. You're building a relationship with them over the phone. The same concept. So feel happy, like, hey, would you keep that happiness? Don't be so serious. The only time you should get serious, I think Victor said it more clearly, is the closing. The closing, you want to be serious because you don't want to miss anything that you're supposed to write down to do your due diligence. That's all I want to add to Susan. Susan, and that was awesome what you just said. I didn't have the guts to say it, but I'm glad you did.
Okay, so that was again some more amazing input. When you walk into somebody's house, you want to try to create a friend, right? You normally are not going to walk into somebody's house and start challenging them or asking them a whole bunch of questions about stuff. Or if you are, you normally are going to start with a compliment, right? Like, oh my God, that's a great picture. Where did you get that from? But it starts with the compliment. That's a great picture. Where did you get it from? You see, so it's a little bit differently, Moises. So that's kind of where you want to, you want to work on creating relationship and bonding up with these people, as opposed to, you do not want to become the hardcore salesman. I'm calling right now to close a deal right now, because people, they don't respond well to that. Some will, you'll get some deals because there's all kinds, right? Some people will be like, I like this guy, he cuts to the chase, da 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 da. But most people, I would say, most probably don't respond well to the directness, right? Trust me, I had to work on that. Like, it didn't come naturally for me to not be direct, because I'll be direct, right? Like, I'll ask the question, you give me the answer, we move forward. Came to find out that I was leaving a lot of money on the table, before I had to make the adjustment to try to figure out, look, I need to bond up with some people.
This morning I was making calls and I was on the phone with the gentleman and he started talking about moving to Florida. He's in Illinois.
Yeah.
I live in Florida and I lived in Illinois before.
Wow.
So I took that conversation right there. Okay. We started talking about Illinois, the cold weather, and we started talking about the nice weather in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we just bonded up right there. Another thing I want to say, if somebody is new and they're making the calls, have the script, the agenda in the 2.0 course. You could get a copy of that. Why don't he have that in front of him when he's talking to the customer and he could actually read off of it? And I think that would help him a lot, just to sort of read off the script a little.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of the script, sort of in a different little format. So what Jerry's talking about is it's a different script. For those of you who are with Justin in the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, you have access to this.
Right.
Okay, but that's kind of what you want to do. You kind of want to have a system, but not do presentations, if you understand what I mean. Like you got to know where you're going, but you can make it sound like a presentation. There's certain elements that you need to find out, right? You need to find out why. You need to find out about the money. How much do they need? How much are they looking for? Are they at all flexible in the way they receive that money? Do they need it all right now today? Those are kind of things that you have to find out, right? Doesn't mean you have to ask them that. Just means that you have to find it out, right? And when I say doesn't mean you have to ask them, that means like you in conversation, they'll tell you. You just have to make sure that you are paying attention, right? Timing, like you were asking me, when do I want to move? Great. You need to know that, because if they have a year to get this done, where are they on the motivation scale? They're probably, 5 being the median, they're probably below that, because they're like, I'm gonna just wait till I get the absolute best price. But if they got to move in a month or two or a week or two, now their motivation is a little bit different. That's something that you want to know. That's the whole purpose of these questions, is to see where they are on this scale.
Hey, Victor, I have a question. How y'all doing?
Hey, Lashonda, what's going on? Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I was listening to the role play, and my question is, and I think I asked this before, what happens when you cannot build rapport with the seller? Like when we do the Zillow scrape, because this is what I've been running into a lot. I mean, they like, first thing to come out their mouth, it's on Zillow. Like, what do you need to know? It's on Zillow. Everything is on Zillow. So how do you build rapport from that? Because there's no need in me asking you to tell me about the house, because I've asked that several times, and that's the same response I get. Everything's on Zillow. What do you need to know?
Okay,
if they even say that part.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. I want to finish up this role play with Moises, but that's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up. And what I would like to do is you and I can kind of role play that scenario, and maybe we can identify, with the help of the group, some of the things that, if we're going to take responsibility for what we put out. If you're getting data locked, then there's probably something that's going out that's inviting that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And believe me, it's not like I'm, dissing or putting you down or anything like that. Simply what happens though is if we're starting to see the same responses coming back to us consistently, the only thing that we can fix in that is us.
Right.
So there's something that we're putting out that is causing somebody to respond in a particular way.
Mhm.
Right now, I know your personality, and your personality is very strong, very East Coast, very, sort of, direct.
Right.
In some parts of the world, like the East Coast, you call a New Yorker, you're fine, right?
I'm in Kansas City. I'm where Justin is at.
I understand, but what I'm saying, I'm talking personality styles. If you call a New Yorker can relate to your style easy, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because they're New Yorkers. They like, let's cut to the chase, boom, 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 and they're very, so they can relate to it. Distinct from calling somebody in Wisconsin who is kind of, put off by us being, a little bit too direct and too aggressive. So we always have to monitor our audience and see if maybe there's some adjustment that we need to make. I don't know for sure. I'm just putting that out there. And like I said, you and I can get back and we can kind of do a little role play, and you can kind of, show me, and we can, maybe get the group to see if there's
Victor, can I say one thing?
Moving forward. See what I tell you about this group? I love this group. Yes, Jerry, you certainly can, my friend.
I run into that problem a lot too. And what I always say when they ask me that, the information is on Zillow. Sir, I apologize. My business partner called and gave me the information, and I was driving, and I apologized. I don't have that information in front of me. I just pulled over to make a call. He asked me to give you a call right away. Okay. I've used a script similar to that to be able to get that customer to turn it around to open up to me.
Okay.
I like that, Jerry.
That's a good idea.
Beautiful, Jerry.
Yeah.
Because what I was gonna say, Victor, is, and I understand what you're saying. I do have an aggressive personality. However, I don't even get to do anything. Like, there has literally been people that I call. As soon as they answer the phone, I'll say, hi, how you doing or whatever. I saw your property online, and and I go off into that, and then they don't even want. That's it. It's like, well, what do you need to know? Is on Zillow. I mean, that's just right out the gate. So I never got a chance to get past that point on a lot of them. Not all of them. I'm just saying a lot of them.
A lot of that rapport building, a lot of it comes when you ask, why do you want to sell? And then you go off of that.
Okay.
Go off of that and then listen to them. And that's building rapport when you listen to them.
Right.
When you listen, and then let them know that, and let them know, rephrase what they're saying. Oh, I understand you want to move out of state. It looks like you're moving on with your wife. You guys want to start over again. And that's building rapport.
Right. If you can get to that part.
Yeah. So you and I will do a little role play, but I don't want to be disingenuous to Moises, because we were doing a little bit.
Okay. Sorry.
So I'll get back to you, LaShonda.
Okay.
All right. So Moises, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
Okay. All right. So I know that was a little in between. But so let's get back to you and kind of tell me what is your mindset when you're going into a phone call? Where is your come from? Because we all kind of have one. Like, are you in there to, I need to close a deal right now, and are you framing yourself before you go into the phone call? Like, how are you preparing to go into your phone call? Like, where are you at mentally on a typical basis? Are you there?
Well, I basically kind of, review your videos or Justin's videos to kind of, refresh my mind. And I have a notebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but more like a mindset. And here's the reason I'm asking the question, is because if you don't know what your mindset is, then you are just winging every time you go onto a phone call, and you're kind of responding to whatever they're saying, right?
Yep.
So before you sit down and start making your phone calls, you need to have that self-talk, that rah-rah speech that put that, or whatever it takes to get you in mode. Because it is a process, and it starts with where you are attitudinally, where you are commitment-wise, where you are as far as, what you're doing. There are times when I simply cannot make phone calls because my head is not right. And you can go through the mechanics of doing the phone calls. And I guess, there's two sides to that story. You can either just make the calls and make the adjustments as you go, which is probably a better, way to go. But if I know that my game is completely off, or that I'm not emotionally in state or whatever, I have to fix that before I start getting on the phone. Because if somebody says something smart to me, I'll be in an argument with their ass. Yep. if my head isn't right. Right? So I have to make sure that I manage me, and that I go into the phone call in such a way that people are, that I'm able to not only receive, but give.
Okay.
All right. So a little mindset work before you actually get on the phone. Know who you are, know what you're doing, and know what you have to bring to the situation. The first thing we want to know, we want to just acknowledge is that we're bringing value. Period. If I'm calling you, I'm trying to solve a problem. So I'm calling you because I'm trying to make a sale, and it's about me right now. That's one way. I'm not going to say that either way is right or wrong, but there's also the I'm calling you because I'm a problem solver, and if I can identify a problem that you have and solve it, I get paid pretty handsomely for that.
Yes, sir.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you're a problem solver. So if you're going in as a problem solver, the questions you ask and how you ask those questions are different than if you go in and with that, I'm a salesperson, I got to close a deal today, sort of mentality. Even though that may be the underlying motivation, like, we're all in this to make money. But really, when you get on the phone, you have to find some way to serve.
Okay.
Okay.
I got one thing, Victor. This is Horace.
Hey, Horace, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Hey, Moses.
Yes,
Moses is a good way to look at it is just to be curious. Don't try to assume what the person needs or what they want, because sometimes when you assume, it goes opposite. So, like you had a question about the mortgage.
Yeah.
Ask a question instead of saying, "Oh, you don't want to have two mortgages." Don't assume it. Just say, "Okay, hey, how is having, how is this going to impact you moving to this new place?" And have them tell you the story instead of you assuming that you're going to have two mortgages.
You're right.
So it's all about being curious. So when you enter the call, enter it from, as Claudio say, from the Columbo mindset. Don't assume what the answer. Just ask them what it is, and it's going to calm you down, because it seems like I do the same thing. I get excited and I start running over myself. But when I ask questions slowly, you got to bring yourself, just keep reminding yourself, okay, slow down, listen, then ask the next question. Because what they tell you is going to give you your next question.
That's true.
Good stuff, Horace. Thank you for your input. I also wanted to share something. Justin is in the YouTube group, and he had a rebuttal that's really strong. So he says there are 3 realtors also on that page. Which one of them is yours? And I'll call them. Their response will probably be none of them. Well, how would I find out the information? Is this over? You don't seem serious, right? And so now you put them on the thing. Do you want to sell your house or not? Without saying, do you want to sell your house or not? I don't know if I'm saying that exactly right, but I see where he's going with that conversation. Well, yeah, there's a number of realtors on your page as well. Is one of them yours? Because I could call them if that would be better for you. Right. So now you kind of did a pattern interrupt. Now you've kind of away from, you and them, and now it's like, no, I don't have a realtor. I don't want to use a realtor. Now you can go into a little different conversation, right? Just a little pattern interrupt. Okay, so let's kind of go back, Moises. I want to kind of go back to the beginning with you, and you can see how much of what we've talked about up to this point you can implement real quick. Is that good with you?
Yeah, or someone else want to take over.
No, you do not get off this porch that easily. Don't feel any pressure, man. It's just practice. Don't even trip. We are, just okay. So here's what we're going to do then. We're going to focus on, you're building relationship. Let's just focus on that on the call, right? Forget about trying to make an offer or whatever. I just want you to figure out a way to bond with me.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So hello.
So are we back on the role play?
Back on the role play.
So where are you moving to, sir?
No, this is from the beginning. We're gonna create relationship from the beginning. So I'm just answering the phone.
Okay.
All right. So hello.
Hello. Hi. This Victor.
Yes, it is.
Hi. How are you, Mr. Victor? This is Moises. I seen your ad online, and I thought I would call you and just ask you a few questions about the house. Is it still available?
Okay, so that's very much like off the role play. That's very much like everybody else is going to do in terms of that, right? So remember, we're trying to build relationships. We're trying to build relationships. What's the easiest way to build a relationship? Start with a compliment. I saw your house online. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Am I too late? Has it sold already?
Okay.
Right. Just kind of butter me up a little bit at the beginning instead of start, hammering me with question and answer period.
Yeah.
Okay. So hello.
Yes, sir. I seen your ad online about that beautiful house.
Yeah.
That you have for sale. It's not gone, isn't it?
No, I haven't sold it yet. Are you stuck?
Yeah.
Okay. No. So just be natural, right? So that's awesome. That's awesome because as great as this house looked, I thought for sure I had missed this opportunity. Right. Because that's what you would normally say, right? Like if you were trying to talk to a girl or whatever, and you were like, look, are you still single? Cool. Because man, I ain't gonna lie, I think you're all that, and I was hoping to have an opportunity for you and I to chat, but it's hard for me to imagine that you would still be available.
That's awesome.
Right? Okay, ladies, I'm not trying to do pickup lines, just so you know.
I'm available.
Okay.
Player 101
from the inside.
Yeah, we heard that. We heard that, Victor.
Stop. I'm like, oh my God, I maybe should have gone here.
That's why he's such a good talker.
Yeah.
That's where
Billy D.
That's where I do my role play. No, but seriously, if you call somebody, the first thing you want to do is, make them feel good about whatever it is they're doing or their situation or whatever. That really gets you off on the right foot. Now, they're starting to think that, okay, might be somebody I want to talk to. Right? And then you know the information you want to get. And that's why I have the agenda on the screen, because you know what you want to get from these people. Now you just have to get it, without having to be, direct with them and create a relationship so that they feel comfortable with working with you. That makes sense, Moises?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you want to, I don't want to keep you on the spot or whatever. I think you've gotten quite a bit of information and feedback so far. You good right now, or do you want to try to go in one more time, or how are you feeling?
I guess we can try it again next week.
Okay. Okay. You're gonna just kind of take what you learned and kind of, internalize a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
I'm with that. I'm with that. Just so you know, man, we really appreciate you having the courage and the commitment to come on and share your challenges and be willing to put yourself out there and do the role play and everything. And I've seen how you've incrementally grown from the time that we started, man. And you're doing fantastic. Just stay in the game. Just keep doing the work, and it gets greater later for you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Victor.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right. Let's see. Where were we going? I made somebody else. Oh, LaShonda. Are you there?
Huh? Me?
Yeah. You.
What you got?
Okay. So let's do your little thing real quick. When where you're having this challenge. Let's see if we can recreate it a little bit and see if we can find a way to overcome it.
Okay, so I'm doing this off the top of my head. I don't have nothing in front of me, so let's go.
All right. So you're calling me. Hello.
Okay.
Yes, or do you want me to actually why don't you do the response that you're getting back from these people?
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Ring ring. You gonna ring me?
Yep. Ring.
Hello.
Oh, hi, LaShonda. It is LaShonda, right? Did I call the right number?
Yes. Who is this?
My name is Victor. My secretary gave me your number. I'm not even really sure what it is about. I apologize, but I'm in the real estate business. Do you have anything going on right now that is real estate related that I may have gotten your number because of it?
Yes, I have a property for sale.
Oh, okay. That's exactly what it's about. Okay, perfect. I don't have any information in front of me. So can you tell me a little bit about the property?
Everything is online. You're more than welcome to look up Zillow. Look it up on Zillow. I have everything there.
Go ahead and give me the address.
123 Main Street.
Okay, got it. Now I'm not able to see anything right now, but maybe I could just ask you a couple of quick questions.
Hey, I'm not up for a bunch of questions. Anything you want to know is online. I put it online.
How soon do you want to get this done?
We're trying to get it sold as soon as possible.
Okay, so you do understand that for me to be able to have a conversation with you so we can close this deal today, it doesn't matter what's online?
What is it that you're wanting to know? I mean, I don't understand what else could you possibly need. All the information is online. What is it that? What else do you need to know?
I you know what? I appreciate your directness and you're right. There's information online, but what's not online is first of all, did I do something wrong? You seem like you're a little upset with me. Would it be better if I called you at a different time, or
No, nothing's wrong.
Like you're a little angry right now.
Nothing's wrong. I'm just tired of everybody calling.
Yeah.
Have the house online, and then it's like I get these calls all day, and
Okay.
they calling asking me a bunch of questions, and all the questions that they're asking me is about the property, and it's all online.
Okay. All right. Well. And I appreciate you sharing that with me, and I know exactly what it's like to just be getting a bunch of annoying questions and answers. But let me just say real quick, I'm in the business of buying houses, and I'm going to buy a house today, and I would like for that house to be yours. And there's nothing I can do online that is going to get me to an agreement with you. So if you're at least willing to hear me out a little bit, by the end of this call, I'll ask you some questions. You'll ask me some questions. You'll figure out exactly what I'm about. And, if there's a deal here for us, let's close it today. Is that something we can do, or maybe not?
It's possible. So I'll tell you what, get online and look at it. And if you have any questions, just give me a call back.
Well, I have some questions that I can ask you before going online. Do you have a minute right now? Again, like I said, did I do something wrong, or I want to buy a house today. Do you want to sell a house today?
Yes. What is it that you want to ask me?
Okay. So off the role play. Okay. So if you notice, the only thing that I wanted to get to that point is I need her to be able to at least give me enough room to listen. Okay.
Right.
I don't give a damn how much stuff is online. So what?
Right.
So what? You got a bunch of stuff online. Good for you. I cannot negotiate a deal online with your house.
Right.
So do you want to sell it today or do you not?
That's what I'll be wanting to say.
Yeah, but you know, but that's exactly that's where I'm coming from, right? That's where I come from. Do you want to sell this damn house today or not, right? So if you're going to just give me attitude and, you know, you're going to just do all this nonsense, you know, maybe you don't really want to sell your house.
And so that's what I was going to ask because I literally have had a conversation just like that, like what you went into. I did that and he still was an asshole. So my question is, because me personally, that one particular call, because I've had several, but that one particular call, I just told him, and I probably shouldn't have done what I did, but I said, hey, you know what? I see that you obviously not really wanting to sell your house, and we normally deal with people that want to deal with us. So you have a good day, and I got off the phone because he gave me so much attitude.
That might have been your answer, though. You know, the only thing you can do different than that is, you know, look, it seems like I've caught you at a bad time. Is there a better time that maybe we can chat about this? Because I obviously cannot write a contract to an ad. Is there a better time, or, you know, did I do something that upset you? And if I did, you know, let me apologize, you know, right up front, because that was not my intention.
Right. Then I had another guy that oh man, he started going in talking about I buy houses all the time and I never look at them and da da da. And if you're a real investor, you should be able to buy the house. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And so here's the deal. You're not gonna close everybody.
Right.
And sometimes this is how I always figure when I run across people that are just absolute a-holes. I'm going to have to deal with this person throughout the entire process. Am I really willing, or even am I open to dealing with this person beyond this point right here today?
Right.
You know, now, if there's $1 million profit, I have more room.
Yeah. Things are a little different, huh?
I know that's petty, but you know what I'm saying? It's like there's a price where I'm but that's the truth, right? Like, okay, if there's enough room on there, I'm gonna stay in at least long enough to know what my real tolerance level is with this person, right?
Right.
But if I'm trying to do a little, you know, $5,000 deal, you know, whatever with this guy, and he's being a jerk right now, he's gonna be a jerk throughout the entire process. And if you're not in control of the process, you are at risk of just getting your little heart broken, and it could be broken at the 11th and a half hour. Because you never gain control of the situation, right? Yeah.
I just get out the phone because I mean, if you keep going in, I'm not gonna sit there and just keep, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit there and just keep letting you go in, because I go in on you just as much as you'll go in on me, and then we're not gonna get nowhere. So I just end the call. But I have did like a couple of calls like that. I turn around and say, well, hey, you know, I plan to give you a large amount of money in a small time frame. So, you know, I'm just calling to try to get a little bit more information about the property. But if you're not interested in selling, because it don't sound like you're very interested. I mean, I do have a few questions to ask, but if you're not interested in selling today, then that's fine.
Then let me off the hook now.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me, because I didn't want to feel like I was ending the call too soon when you're dealing with buttholes.
Yeah, and you're right. There's those people out there, and you wonder, why did you ever put your ad online to begin with, and why did you include your phone number if you didn't want to get phone calls?
Well, so I did ask that question before, and that was the response that I got.
Of course you did.
Because so many people had been calling them. I think they were like agitated. Aggravated. But it don't make sense because you got the house online. Like, what did you expect?
What did you expect?
Can I say something? I don't know if I'm right. Maybe it's just a question, but like, okay, so for me, it's like, I'm trying to put myself in the seller's shoes, right? If I
Yeah.
have a property online and I
Uh-huh.
have my phone number and all the pictures of the property, if it's a pretty house
Yeah.
and all the pictures are there, and I put a brief description of what's going on, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like if I call or if someone calls me, I might be irritated, right? Because I'm like, okay, so the information is online. So the way I'm gonna approach that is like, I see your property online. I see these pictures, very nice property, beautiful property. I'm interested in buying it, and then just go straight to why I'm calling instead of asking them about the house. Because I think what they're pissed off about is you see all the pictures about the house and you're still asking me about the house. The house is there. Now, it's a different thing if it's all, messed up and it needs work or whatever. And I see that, okay, the roof needs work or whatever. And I can go further and say, can I ask more questions about the house? Because obviously I don't see the electrical, the plumbing or whatever, then I can go that route. I'm just saying that I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes. Like they can get irritated easily when people say, okay, they see all the pictures online and it's a nice house, it's good to go. Let's just go straight to the conversation of why you're calling. What do you want? Are you willing to pay cash? And then I can go from there. Like, when are you looking to close? Are you ready to move? Questions about like that. That's just what I'm thinking. Like if I was a seller.
Absolutely, and that is some great input. Thank you very much for that, Addie. You're absolutely right. And if you kind of notice where I went with it from when we were doing the role play, is I was completely moving away from anything that might have been online. Like I don't really care what's online. Like, okay, so your house is online, that's fine, but we're talking about a transaction, and do you want to sell this house today? So that's where my come from is, right? Like, let's get to the nitty gritty. Do you want to sell the house today or do you not? Because all of this stuff, the pictures and all of that, yeah, all that's wonderful, but I'm not spending any time doing research. This is my thinking. I'm not spending any time doing any research on something that, if when it really comes down to it, you aren't really, wanting to sell this property, or you don't want to sell this property to me. Because it could be that simple. They might just, they might have their own, and I say prejudices, and I don't necessarily mean that like racial. It could be, but this is the world we live in. We call and they could have all kind of stuff going on, right?
Right.
If you don't want to sell to me, okay, I got it. All right, you don't want to sell to me, I got it. But I need to make sure that we're in a conversation that's going to lead to some sort of agreement being written up, or we're going to get off the phone with this.
Right.
So I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I think you're on track as far as that's concerned. Maybe just have a couple of more techniques that you can use in order to disarm them and come from a place of avoiding confrontation, always avoiding confrontation, and being, even if you have to be the attentive ear and say, look, I get it. You're really upset. Is there something I can do, or is there something that I've done that has, pushed this over the edge? Because that wasn't my intention.
I get it. You're very upset. Maybe you don't need to answer the phone today. How about that? It's not a good day.
That's a little confrontational.
Right? I'm just playing. Maybe you didn't.
I get it. So this is exactly good, because okay, so Justin, again, he says, as a salesman, many times we'll have thoughts that hit your brain and you quickly choose not to say them because of fear it may be misinterpreted. Change that. You should start saying those things, right? And so Justin is implying that, look, you may not have to be, soft with them. You may have to come hard. Here's the bottom line. No one person is that important. No one person is that important. If they don't want to, play the game by the rules, so to speak, kick them off the playground.
Disqualify them, right?
Why? Yeah, I'm done with you.
It was also their choice to answer the phone. The phone rang. It was still their choice to answer the phone or not. So if they didn't want to answer, they didn't want to talk to nobody, why did they answer? So, sir, you answered the phone. I figure you want to sell your house. You want to talk to me.
Yeah, you want me to buy your house, especially $400,000 or $200,000 or $300,000, but I can't ask no questions. Like,
Right.
what kind of mess is this? I don't
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Yeah, when people say, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
When,
Is that
when
you,
people
Benicio?
say, yeah.
What's up, buddy?
So when people say, I get a lot of phone calls, getting tired of all these phone calls, try to leverage that too. Like leverage, so you know where they're at. So ask them.
Let's make this.
You probably get a lot of offers.
Call.
You probably get a lot of offers on that property, right? Yeah, and then sometimes they'll tell you, and sometimes it's a lot lower than what the asking is. But then that's from there. Hey, so you're saying if I can offer you 10 grand more, could we do a deal today? Right. And then just kind of check them.
Yeah.
Leverage everything they say.
Right.
Check their temperature.
Yep.
Yeah. In other words, whatever they say is the right answer.
Okay.
Whatever they say is the right. Oh, I get that. Okay. So then that means if I was to offer you $5,000 more, we can go ahead and close this up today.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, what's that number? I'll start writing it up right now.
I say 310. That 310, it's all yours.
All right, cool. I'll start writing it right now. And I was going to go here too, but Claude jumped into the chat and said too, pattern interrupt is key in the sales process. You want to get them off of their spot, right? So you use some kind of pattern interrupt. He even put something in here. I would like to send you an offer today. Who should I make the check out to? Ooh, that's a good one, right? Who should I make the check out to? Make it out to me. Okay, good.
Me
For
too.
how much? That much? Let me ask you, how did you come to that price? Wow,
saw the comps in the area.
Well, okay, I get it. So you just paid for an appraisal.
Say it like this.
That's what the appraisal came back as. Well, no, I didn't pay for no appraisal. Oh, okay. All right, I get that. You see, and it's just nuance, right? It's just nuance. All right, guys. And so it looks like I really wanted to do next week. We're going to do some live phone calls, but Mark Richardson, he does live phone calls himself on Thursdays, and he focuses primarily on doing live phone calls, and it's on this same channel here. So if you guys want to do some live phone calls, listen to Mark, be able to do some back and forth and some critique. Mark, feel free to unmute yourself, man, and speak about your little training that you do on Thursdays.
Well, yeah, we're just going to get out there and make some calls. If anybody has any leads they want me to call, I'd be happy to call. And we're going to have a super guest star caller tomorrow. Jerry's going to make a call or two for us.
Jerry. Oh.
So, yeah. So, we'll just work on all our gut stuff and see if we can, maybe get a deal or two tomorrow and, and yeah, just try to get as many calls in and just, practice.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
How do we find out? I didn't know that this was going on, Mark. So how do we find out?
Well, this is through Justin's group. I'm not sure what the
you can use the same link that you logged in with today, you guys. It's the same thing.
What time is it going to be?
So
what
he's
time?
Going to be on this channel. What time? What's your times, Mark?
It's the same as everything. It's 10. What is it? It's
10
o'clock Pacific. So
yeah, 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Correct. Yeah, I'd love to have you all on, and we can. I love a lot of input too. I love to be able to hear what everybody thinks, and see how we can just get better.
All right. And he's gonna have Big Jerry on the call tomorrow doing a little bit. And here's one thing you hear about both of these guys, is you can tell they're both kind of real sort of soft spoken. And they for those of you who are having the challenges as far as creating relationship on the phone, you want to hear these two guys get on the phone. They naturally have an understanding of mirroring people and putting people at ease. and they have a way of you know, moving people to give them information, you know, whether they plan on giving them information or not. So that's going to be, you know, that's going to be real good. So I invite you guys to plug in. Thanks for making that announcement, Mark. Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody who was here today. You guys did, every week this thing is getting more and more amazing. Let me just call out some names. Obviously, Mark and Jerry, Crystal. Thank you so much, Crystal. We got to get you on some role play one of these times as well. Carl, Addie, Aaron, Chris Moore, Claude. Claude, did you want to say something, Claude? You can go ahead and step in here if you want to, you know, close this out. Okay, he's not stepping in, so he's probably working. He just sometimes turns us on just in the background. Let's see. Ed Porter, good to see you, my friend. Horace is here. Jaime, LaShonda, Lou Quinal, Mark Richardson, again, Marvin. Sometimes it changes, so I may repeat your name. Mary, Malicio, Moises, Nick, Philip Montoya,
I know.
Rick Gentry, Rosalind Beaumont, Suzette, Wei Lin, and Yimin. Hey, thank you guys. Yes, Claude says he's on the phone, so he can't join us right now. You know what, you guys? I wanted before we ended this call today, there was something I wanted to play for you guys, just real quick. I know we're all busy and we all want to, you know, get to work, but I want to see if I can find this video that I saved. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, I want you guys to just kind of watch this video with me, and it's really incredibly motivational. I watch it all the time. Sometimes, you know, just to get myself phone ready, believe it or not. Let me get my. All right, I'm going to share my screen right now, and then we'll say goodbye.
They can't make us play. We've decided we're gonna finish what you started, sir. Yeah, so leave us be, coach. We got shit to do, sir. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to say thank you. You saved my life.
Thank you, sir.
All of it.
So that's how I feel about all of you guys. All right, let's go out there and let's kick some butt this week, and let's have some great stories to tell. Thanks a lot for showing up, you guys. Love you all. Have a great week.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, later.
All right, Claude.
Later.
Victor.
Thank you, Victor.
What movie was that from, Victor?
Coach Carter.
Yeah, it sure was. Yep.
Coach Carter. Great clip. Great clip.
Good
All
movie.
right, guys. Have a great week.
Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Everyone.